On screen, we have a digital notebook displaying two descriptions of the exact same event. Writer 1 says, "The rain started. I ran home." Writer 2 says, "The sky burst open without warning. I laughed as icy rain chased me down the empty street." The event is identical, but by selecting burst, laughed, and icy, they create a cinematic effect that puts us directly in the storm. Why does that second description feel alive and human, while the first one feels robotic? This specific quality is voice. According to the definition in the green text, voice is the unique personality a reader hears while reading. The words on the page function as a signal that projects a human identity directly into the reader's mind. Writing without voice simply records information. Writing with voice creates human communication. You don't need to be born with a special talent to achieve this. You can construct it using a specific set of mechanics. This infographic lays out the exact checklist for building that communication from scratch. It is called the person framework. The concept of your voice is built by one thing: a person. Each letter in this acronym, P-E-R-S-O-N, represents a specific ingredient you control. Mastering voice is an engineering task. These tools prevent your writing from being ignored and ensure your words hold the reader's attention. The first three letters, P-E-R, set your boundaries. P stands for purpose. Why are you writing? If your goal is to persuade someone to stop using plastic, your approach will sound entirely different than if you are writing to entertain them with a story about a talking plastic bottle. Next is E for emotion. Notice the dog on screen. If your internal state is happy, you describe a bouncing, sunny puppy. If you feel sad, that same dog is walking slowly in the rain. If you are angry, it is barking aggressively. It is the exact same subject run through three different emotional filters. R represents the reader, your audience. The specific person you are addressing dictates the vocabulary and the level of formality you bring to the page. Take this guy. If he's texting his best friend that he's late, he types, "Bro, traffic was terrible." But if that exact same guy is apologizing to his boss, he says, "I sincerely apologize for the delay." Writers often hit a friction point here by confusing the audience with the narrator. Your audience is who is reading the story. Your narrator is who is telling it. They are separate variables requiring distinct choices: purpose, emotion, and reader. These three establish your psychological foundation. They define the strict boundaries of your piece before you even select your first word. With the psychology set, we apply the mechanics. S-O-N. S is for structure. Look at these vector lines. Short sentences act like rapid staccato dashes. They feel fast and urgent. Long sentences are like a slow, undulating wave, building tension and dropping the pacing. O is for organization of words. This vertical ladder maps out verbs by their intensity. Moving from walk to wander to march shifts the personality of the action. When we swap "she walked inside" for "she marched inside," we see a distinct shift. The verb march injects authority and anger into the sentence. The power dynamic of the scene is instantly stronger. Think of the dialogue tag, said. It gets the job done, but it falls flat. Notice how dropping in whispered, shouted, or muttered completely rewrites the tension of the scene. Finally, N is the narrator. The persona filtering the event dictates the presentation of facts. A 5-year-old describing a huge dog will use entirely different syntax than a scientist noting a 1-meter-tall animal. To finish the effect, we apply tonal enhancements like punctuation and imagery. Look at the word "really" here. A period makes it flat. A question mark makes it curious. An exclamation point makes it shocked. An ellipsis makes it skeptical. A single punctuation mark dictates how the reader interprets the word. Structure, organization, and narrator are your mechanical levers. You pull them to physically manifest the abstract psychological traits you established earlier. Let's stress test the entire person framework using a completely neutral baseline topic: a rainy day. Watch the personas. Poet. Silver threads stitched the sky to the earth. 5-year-old. The puddles were huge. I wanted to jump in. Thriller. The rain hid the footsteps behind me. Comedian. My umbrella retired halfway through the storm. 4 voices altering one event. This animated equation shows how the complete system comes together. The core person framework combines with extra literary ingredients, like punctuation and imagery, to form the final product. Take a topic like a rainy day. A poet leans heavily on imagery, describing silver threads stitching the sky to the earth. A horror writer manipulates structure and perspective, focusing on how the heavy rain masks the sound of footsteps right behind you. We can map this entire system onto the blueprint of a house. Purpose, audience, and emotion form the foundation. Your word choice, sentence structure, and narrator build the walls. Finally, tone, punctuation, and imagery act as the roof that tops it all off. Voice is built architecture. Every word you choose, every sentence you pace out, and every punctuation mark you place adds another deliberate layer to this structure, ensuring your identity is heard on the page.